What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug. I love this kit. It's the Inner Circle Companions for the Dark Angels. I think when they did their revamp recently, this is one of the kits that I really had my eye on. I love the way the models look. And if you are interested in purchasing one for yourself, you can click the link below in the description and it'll take you to an Amazon affiliate, which will hook you up with a box of 3 of these guys for a very good price. So here we go. You can build up your miniatures to a certain point and then you get to choose between blue and green, color-coded, which finished model you want to end up with, and that will give you the roadmap to getting that finished model. I like the way that this is very cleanly presented. The color coding system really works because it gives your eye a immediate perspective as to what miniature you want to end up with. So when you take a look at the miniature, do I want the standard with him holding the gun, or do I want him holding the sword with the point down like that? I think it's really great and intuitive, and then it allows you not to worry or even consider the other optional build. You also get a transfer sheet here, all the standard transfer markings, and I did notice that these particular Inner Circle Companions have on their little shields that they have decorating their armor these symbols here in the bottom left, like golden keys and tiny little symbols like that. It looks really good off of the black background. So that's what those transfers look like on the miniature. Now we're going to take a look at the set itself. This is my favorite part of doing any unboxing video. You get your 3 bases there. Nobody cares about that. So looking at the sprue, you get 3 half sprues or 1.5 full sprues. Here you can see the first half a sprue. I love how it gives you the option to either have the sensors going off of the backpack or not, have it just be like a decorative spiky ball up there, or you can have it with the smoke like I said. And all of these bits look terrific and great and clean. They match the old Dark Angels aesthetic of the robed warriors, the robes over the power armor, and they all fit really intuitively together. So some of them have little pouches for the belts, like grafted, molded onto the like hip armor, and just the angles and the way that they made this is very good. Like here, this is the one I'm talking about. You've got that hip armor with some parchment scrolls, this one with the pouches already on top of the armor plate, so that when you glue the armor piece in, you don't have to worry about aligning it to the belt pouches or anything like that. It's just a really clean, smart, intelligent way of designing these miniatures so they go on as cleanly as possible. Now, I do want to tell you, going away, building this set 2 times, and now having both the one on the box cover as well as the one on the back, the alternate build. The most tricky thing about this model is actually putting the torso together. You glue the 2 bottom parts of each leg into some little slots onto either the front or the half of the torso, the front half or the back half, and then you glue the other half of the torso onto it. And you got to make sure that your legs are positioned correctly, that you glue them on correctly and they're fitted into the slots correctly, or else they're not going to be standing up straight. They're going to be leaning forward, or depending on which foot you have bent at an angle, it's going to look like they're dragging a foot behind them. So that was a mistake that I kind of made when I dry fitted the models together. I thought that they went together pretty simply, and then when I was gluing them together, I just couldn't get them to stay correctly. So check to make sure when you're putting the model together, don't hold it in place and let it dry and go away and come back and realize, oh my gosh, my model is leaning over, looking so drunk and not looking good. So I love this one, the alternate build with this, all of them holding the swords. Oh, get out of here, you Gal Vorback, infiltrating my painting table. And then I've got here the front of the box cover with that awesome standard. It just looks terrific there. And I have it bent at a little bit of an angle because I think it's more interesting than having it standing straight up and down, almost like he's leaning it to the side while he takes aim with his pistol. And like I said, this is the only way to get the character holding the pistol. All of the other variants and options for this build, the other 5, all have their pistols holstered and are using both hands to hold the sword, or hold the sword and the sensor here with the smoke coming off of it. You'll also notice on the back of that standard bearer is his sword sheathed, put away, ready for action, but not in use. And that is a great bit to have if you choose not to use a standard bearer, to have in your collection. I love the smoke coming out. I'm usually not a big fan of smoke, but if it's just a little bit of smoke, I don't mind it too much. I've grown to become used to it, although I do prefer these ones where there is no smoke coming out of the sensors. A little bit of smoke is, it's okay. I do like how they also have the option to do hooded heads, just bare heads, or hooded helmets. It fits the Dark Angels aesthetic to make these guys look like warrior knight monks, and having the option to have just a simple front of a helmet face, very featureless, soulless, very blank slate, and then to have the faces where you can paint some expression. You can paint them as older gentlemen who are very advanced in years and veterans of the battlefield. I really like how these come together. Now, as you can see, as I turn the models, there is the big seam on the side of each one, and you're gonna have to make sure that when you're assembling the models, you hold them together and you have that seam and that join aligned, because it's never gonna be completely flush. There will always be just a little bit of a seam showing, although it's not as bad as ones in the past. And surprisingly, the mold lines and the little bits of extra flash are not too bad on this kit. This kit is actually really well put together, and I love the little callback to the old Games Workshop Dark Angels, like a 4th and 5th edition with the feathers. Feathers on Dark Angels is something that I don't remember seeing in quite a while, since like the Dark Vengeance box set, where they threw them on a bunch. But yeah, back in the day, Dark Angels used to be known for having lots of feathers. Like they had a feather fetish, the same way wolves, Space Wolves had like wolf tails, and Blood Angels had like the bloody teardrops. Like feathers were the thing for Dark Angels. I remember painting a bunch of feathers off of the Dark Angels back in the day. So here we are once again. You have 3 in the box, plus this transfer sheet, and you can also paint them up in these successor chapters. I'm curious why they chose these 2 successor chapters, the Guardians of the Covenant and the Angels of Redemption. I've seen other successor chapters for the Dark Angels that seem to be a little bit more popular, but yeah, you know, you never know. And I do like how you have these options for using all of these little fetish keys and those very esoteric, arcane, almost occult-like keys that you could put onto their little decorative shields there. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little unboxing and this view of the models when they're all built up, give you an idea of what they look like. I hope if you are interested, if you are a Dark Angels player, or if you are considering expanding into the Dark Angels army, I hope you think about getting one of these. And if you do, yeah, like I said, click the link in the description. It'll take you to Amazon, where you can pick one of these up at a very, very good price. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like to consider supporting my content, then I hope you would consider becoming a channel member, the tiers of which I'm trying to offer some pretty good prizes and rewards, so you could check those out. Thanks again for checking out the video, and we'll see you in the next one.